Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse is brought to you by Defiance Silver.
Defiance Silver is run by proven mine finders with a focus on Mexico. CEO is Chris Wright, and VP Corporate Development is Doug Cavey. Gentlemen, welcome to Kitco.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.
Tell us about what you're focused on in Mexico, Doug.
We're focused on building out large mineral systems in Mexico. We have two projects, two standalone assets. We're drilling right now in Zacatecas, heart of silver mining of Mexico, one of arguably the world's most important silver mining jurisdictions. Mexico is the world's largest silver producing country. Zacatecas is the largest silver producing state in Mexico. And we have what we feel is an emerging vein district in a 1 billion ounce silver camp.
You were talking about the project earlier at the show. We're at Deutsche Goldmesse here in Frankfurt, Germany. What struck me is the infrastructure that you have around that project.
Oh, it's tremendous. It's a 500-year-old mining camp, so you can imagine there's been a lot of ways and shapes that they've gone after these veins. They're historically very high-grade underground mines typically, but there's we're 20 minutes away from an international airport. You can fly to Dallas on an American Airlines flight. You can get to most places in the world quite quickly from Zacatecas. If you were an avid cyclist, you could cycle to our asset from the international airport. You can run from my apartment to the property. It's blessed with infrastructure. We're right next door to Capstone's Cozamin, large underground copper silver mine. We are minutes away from downtown Zacatecas, which itself is built on top of underground mines. It's a remarkable place to work. One of the highest grade drill holes that we drilled is underneath a high tension power line, right next to an open pit. There is over 25,000 tons of milling capacity within 50 kilometers of the asset. So in terms of global projects, infrastructure is got to be in the top tier globally.
Tell us about the package that you've assembled at Zacatecas.
Well, it's interesting. Zacatecas itself, the district, it's very old, and so if you look at it, on a 50,000 foot view, it kind of looks like grandma's quilt. Like it's a patchwork, little small pieces of land here and there, and we've been, I think we've done a diligent job of who's who and what's what and where are they. Historically, the legacy asset, the legacy part of the property is the San Acacio silver deposit. And it's part of the Veta Grande vein system, which is one of Mexico's most well-known vein systems. If you talk to the who's who or anybody who's been working in Mexico for a long period of time, the geologists, the engineers, mining industry, everybody knows about Veta Grande. It's that was acquired in 2011, and then a resource estimate was done in 2014, and that's sort of the backstop of what we're doing in Mexico is building out on that resource, or backstop of Zacatecas, I should say, is building out on that resource estimate. Since then, we've acquired Mag Silver Zacatecas land holdings, which include Mag Silver's Zacatecas database, which I think is often overshadowed, the importance of that database, because it's about 1,500 square kilometer database with, you name it, it's got every piece of data that you're looking for. But in 2020, we think this is probably the most exciting thing that we've done in Zacatecas is we acquired or entered into an option to acquire Pan American Silver's Zacatecas land holdings. Now, Mag Silver was there working in the early 2000s, 2007, 2008, 2009, looking for a replica of Juanicipio. Of course, Juanicipio is their flagship silver mining operation, will be the world's largest primary silver mine in the next 12 months. They keyed into the geology of Zacatecas, as a lot of people have in the past, and they acquired a really nice land package, but a really good database. The one place they didn't look was Pan American Silver's ground, because Pan American owned it. And Pan American was drilling there until 2012 and coming up with good results. But the one chunk of ground that Pan American didn't drill just so happened to be right next door to our San Acacio license area. And we used this database, we keyed into where we thought there could be an emerging vein system, emerging vein district. And because of our relationship with the local landowners, the Fraccionamentos and the Ejidos, we were able to get a surface access agreement in place, which was something that kind of stalled Pan American for their drilling. So we got the surface access agreement in place, first drill program in there, fifth hole hit 5 veins, up to 3 kilograms per ton silver. We still have some results to come out on that part of the vein system. And we think that there's a lot more to be discovered in this, what is a prolific 1 billion ounce silver camp.
Chris, talk about the team that you have at Defiance.
Well, we have a fantastic team. We've done a complete overhaul of the management team and our geological team. We're fortunate enough to have Doug and Orquest come in as consultants to do a review of our projects, shortly after I joined the company in 2019. Thankfully, after the teardown they did on the projects, they realized how much potential there was at them, and they signed on to be our permanent exploration team. So we have assembled a very experienced team with a tremendous track record in Mexico over the last 25 years, and we're thrilled to have them working with us on our two projects.
Now, we're filming this near the end of May, so the markets have been just a little bit turbulent, but you did a fundraising earlier, so you're funded, and then you can carry on with drill results.
That's correct. We had a very successful fundraising period from September of 2020 through to June of 2021, which really was transformative for the company. And we find ourselves in arguably one of the strongest financial positions the company's ever been in. So yes, our exploration program for the next 12 months is fully funded. We have a lot of flexibility with how we can move that out, i.e. we can accelerate it if we want, or given the current market environment, we've been fortunate. We've been cautious for the last 6 months or so and really tried to make sure that we're even more than normal, watching our expenses and trying to prolong that budget runway.
Talk about the share structure.
Share structure is very straightforward. We have no debt. About $12 million in cash right now. There's 221 million shares outstanding. Fully diluted, we're just a little more than 260 million. We do have some warrants that some are in the money that are expiring this summer and more in September. So an interesting situation, but pretty straightforward, good core group of shareholders. And, it's a nice, strong position to be in.
Doug, you've got drill down at Zacatecas right now. Talk about what you're planned or what are the milestones over the next 12 months?
Well, as Chris said, we have a really tremendous technical team. Jen, our principal geologist, Jen Roskowski, she has been doing a tremendous job covering for us while we're here in Germany, making sure that everything goes well, but has been really guiding. I think the next 12 months are really on the back of what the last 18 months were. And so she put together a program with a number of really, really excellent geologists, geoscientists, and engineers that we're working with in Mexico. She put together a program of targeting, early stage targeting, mapping, trace element geochemistry, oriented core diamond drilling. And that's really driving what we're doing for the next 12 months. So we have both the exploration, which is kind of we'll call it greenfields exploration on this Lucita property, where we'll continue to drill, move the drill back over to Palenque once we have the rest of the results put out on that part of the district. But right now we're actually focused back in the Veta Grande area, testing the extents of the mineral system. How big is this panel of mineralization? How big is this mineral system? Does it go for 200 meters? Does it go for 50 meters? Does it go for 10 meters? Well, it goes for more than 10 meters. And then along strike, how much strike extent is there? So let's test this thing systematically, but let's not just randomly throw drill holes along strike. We're not throwing lawn darts across the Zacatecas district. There's a systematic workup, and Jen has done a tremendous job of keeping us in check to make sure that we're not, getting a little too excited and say, let's put a drill hole here, let's put a drill hole here. And that has led to us being about 90% success rate on hitting the structure. And that is on the backbone of really, really solid geoscience. And with our senior leadership really subscribing to why that works and the results really dictating that this does work, I think that we're going to have a very exciting 2022, 2023 drilling in this billion-ounce silver camp on both a resource build-out and a true greenfields exploration project in a mineral system that is one of the pinnacles in the 1500s of Spanish Empire. And we have had the results to really backstop what I'm saying right now.
Doug Cavey, Chris Wright, thank you very much for talking about Defiance Silver.
Good. Thank you.
My name is Michael McRae. I'm at the Deutsche Goldmesse here in Frankfurt, Germany, and you're watching Kitco Mining.
Kitco Mining's special coverage of the Deutsche Goldmesse is brought to you by Defiance Silver.